Hello guys, NautoAis here, and I too want to give my thoughts on this story, the conclusion of Concord and Firewalker. By now you heard the official story, what happened. So here's a recap. Concord only lasted for 2 weeks, and then they had to do a recall because the game just wasn't selling. People are not buying it. There's not a lot of engagement in the game, and that Sony was giving full refunds for people who bought them. So then there was a rumor, they were seeing some data on the Steam version that free to play. So they're thinking, oh, maybe there'll be a second chance. They'll do a free to play, maybe change them around. Maybe like David Jaffe said, a PlayStation All-Star Concord type game. So you got Concord characters and other Sony characters. I mean, kind of makes sense. Goofy at least. And also that the game cost $400 million in total, and that Hermen Hulst, the CEO of Sony, was championing this game. And then the development, believe it or not, there was a toxic positivity. Basically, you cannot criticize the game no matter what. You can't say, hey, look, even the character model, the design, the creation is good. People are not going to like it because they can't relate to it. Just because the aesthetic is so good, so high quality, and like I said that, but when you look at it in the general consumer who don't care and they just want to play video games as an escapism and they want to relate to that character, they can't do it in Concord because you can't. You just can't relate. So, of course, now it's officially, depends on perspective, unfortunate or fortunate, Concord is done. And Firewalker, along with another mobile company, Neon Koi, they got shut down. So it is what it is. Not really surprising. A lot of people said there was either one or two things going to happen. It's either with Concord, they're going to do a free-to-play. They're going to change them around, maybe make it more appealing, change the philosophy behind the game, the propaganda, whatever. But no, they went the second route is they just closed down the company. Concord is done, and they shut down Firewalker, and like I said, a mobile company, Neon Koi. It is what it is. That's all, folks. Of course, the conversation is always going to come out when a company shut down. Oh, thanks to you not supporting Concord, not supporting Firewalker, now a lot of these people are out of the job. Capitalism, one-on-one business, social Darwinism, survival of the fittest. Again, and I said this on Twitter, you can make the game you want to express it, to show a message, a propaganda, whatever. But if you're integrating it with business, there should be balance. Be mindfulness. Will it sell? Is your financer gonna able to get the returns? Is it worth the money? And of course, with Concord, that wasn't the case. People didn't want to touch the game, and it is what it is. So, like I said, it seemed that a lot of this new generation of employees now is that, oh, if you don't like the game, you're a bad person. I mean, newsflash, if you try to do that somewhere in mid-2000s, heck, even in the 90s, that's not even going to fly. They're just going to call you an idiot. And why is it working now? I don't know. It's the new social, modern situation. I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. It's just, oh, you don't like that game, you're political, you're a bad person. I mean, can't be honorable, say, yeah, we kind of messed up. I guess we shouldn't have done this. I knew we wanted to do this, but I guess it didn't work. Let's learn our lesson, maybe do something better. Well, you have this attitude that, oh, it's everyone's fault, not yourself. You're not going to learn. And probably they are frustrated at, how come when it's fan service, anime, waifu, sexy, big boob, nice ass, tight bikini, jeans, whatever, it's okay. But when we see something that realistically, something like big bone or something different, how come that's not allowed? Because video game, it's supposed to be an escapism, not reality. If I want something reality, I go out, touch grass, go to clubs, you know it. You get the idea. The idea of video game is to help people who are stressed to not think about in real life situation, go to their fantasy, trying to relax, to help to recover their mental state. Again, a lot of these new people doesn't look like that's not the case anymore, and it's really unfortunate. But because with this situation with Concord, maybe Sony gonna have to reevaluate their business and maybe, especially for me personally, stop with the anime waifu censorship. Oh man, gosh. I mean, 2018, they were doing more censorship than what it's allowed from the ESRB, and they said was, well, global standard, which is doesn't exist, bullshit. But of course, as expected, like I said with Yuji Horii, said lawsuit and insurance, they don't want to get sued because there are some concerned parents that goes that far just to make a point, and sometimes that could work, and probably they're afraid of that. Anyway, my thoughts of Concord shutting down, Firewalker going out of business. It is an unfortunate. Yes, people lose their job, their livelihood. Can they recover? Maybe. It depends. If you want to go back to video game, you got to be mindfulness and, hey, you want to make money. It's a business. You got to be open. You can't say, oh, I want to make the game that I want and I want my cake and eat it too. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. Again, like I said, you put politics on video game. It's supposed to be escapism. This is what happens. Here you go. So, yeah, it is unfortunate that a employee lost their job, but it's not surprisingly that it happened because you decide to put politics on your video game. People are fed up. They don't like that. Why do you need the X, Y, and Z? Unless it's fluent, unless it fits the story, that's fine. But when you just force it because, you just have to, it doesn't make sense. I mean, believe it or not, that's what Star Wars sequel trilogy is. What's the story with Finn, with Rose, with Rey? The backstory, from what I understand, was, and a lot of these actors even said was, well, they just needed a quote-unquote multiple different race actor playing in the Star Wars universe. That doesn't make sense. But it would make sense, like I said, with Finn, he could be, hey, his family was a Jedi, but he ended up a Stormtrooper. What after that one? In the case with Rose, yes, again, what's her story? Oh, we just need to put an Asian character. Doesn't make sense. And that's what people don't like the character Rose. Rey. Could have been potential, but it didn't go anywhere. Oh, her family was a farmer. Oh, her grandpa is Palpatine. Ugh. I mean, it's pretty too late there, but oh boy. But look at Cobra Kai. Everything just worked. It's fluent. They don't have any political force in it. It's just fluent. I mean, in the beginning, when I saw Cobra Kai, at first I thought it was just they're the underdog, and that Cobra Kai is trying to make a name themselves, like the Bad News Bear type of story. And then, thanks to Netflix, they evolved the series. I'm like, that makes sense. But again, you know what I mean. If you force it in and it just doesn't make sense, this is what's going to happen. So it is unfortunate they lost their job. Some people, some of them probably be able to get other jobs. I mean, if you have that repertoire, whether it's good or not, you got that in your resume. Hey, I work in Concord. Yeah, it's bad, but again, not everyone at fault. And a lot of people say, well, it's the fault of the consumer. Well, not really, because they're just giving their criticism as a consumer. Should they give their money for that game? Oh, it should be, everybody should like it because it's diverse. Again, forced diversity, forced DEI doesn't work. You can see what happened. If it's fluent, it flows, then it makes more sense. And you might say, well, not all of these people are political. You're right. But Casualty of War, they were part of a company, they're part of an organization, and they had to pay the price. Should Hermen Hulst be fired for that? Well, maybe, because he did champion Concord. He took a gamble, and it failed. Chances are, my theory behind it, that the higher-ups might be taking notes, and they say, okay, he screwed up. He screwed up once, so let's see if he can fix this. There you go. So, does this mean Sony's going to change in the long run? I hope so, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, right now, all their higher-ups, all the mastermind are in California. So, sadly, Americans are running PlayStation, which is a Japanese company, because in the United States, in America, console sells more than in Japan. Japan, they like mobile. That's why the Switch is more popular there. But all that happened with Concord and with Firewalker, maybe they're hopefully starting to reevaluate their direction. Maybe being political is not a good idea, especially being xenophobic with Japanese game. I know they've been doing it. They're still been doing it in 2024. Like I said, the Princess Simulator game, the PlayStation version, they had to delay it because they had to remove some of the content because by order of Sony, which is stupid. Hopefully. So, Hermen Hulst, is that going to be a red flag for him? Maybe not yet, but this will be, I hate to say, some sort of marked on him that, yes, Sony lost $400 million thanks to the decision of Hermen Hulst trying to champion Concord. If that's true, of course, like I said, Firewalker's toxic positivity situation is all not helping. We'll just have to wait and see. So, again, it is unfortunate that employees from Firewalker and Neon Koi are to look for another job. Maybe they'll be shifted to another Sony part division. Who knows? But again, it's never, ever all right to lose a job. Yes, the celebration is maybe the video game business, the video game industry, the direction. Maybe this is not the right way. Maybe some do want to be this way, but if you are integrating with business and you got to make money, you got to be mindfulness and be balanced about it. It isn't unfortunate, but everybody knew that this was the option. Like I said, the other option was free to play, but they just said, you know what, cut their losses. And again, my guess probably the higher up said to Hermen Hulst, yep, just cut the ties, let them go, shut down the company, the division, the developer. It is what it is. It's an unfortunate, but Darwinism, survival of the fitness. And if your product can't survive, you disappear. That's all to it. So with that, I'll see you guys later.